Again, hi. I did not create the Age of Riven, unlike my father. I have never presumed to have such power. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. He's writing life from books, so this might be Gen. And it looks like Gen was idolized. And it is either a forbidden art or a impossible art to actually create your own ages. Yet, Gen is actually creating his own ages. Riven is an age created by Gen. Thinking about it, it's probably good we didn't actually run into him yet because we don't have the trap book. Because we still have to figure out how to get the trap book back. You don't cross Gen, otherwise you get punished. Okay, I can actually... More than likely, this is the village that is religiously subservient to him. So he probably has a bunch of different cameras, like this one, going down here, and that extends from the back of that building we can't get into. So as soon as we can get access to this building, we'll probably have access to this tram to go to that other island that we haven't gone to yet. Okay, so do you work now? Yes, and it lowers the pressure cooker. Okay, is the popcorn popped now? No. Maybe I need to find like a control for the fan to turn it off. What? The cord keeps going. Maybe it controls something up here? Actually get off the path here? Excuse me? What is this? This is the original number cyan puzzle. That looks like definitely a frog shape with the eye right where the frog should be. That's 5. Yeah, that's 5. That's 5. Okay. And it looks like another shape of an animal. This is the third one we found. Yeah, this looks similar to the symbols that we saw on those little eyeballs. Wait. Where we saw another dome. That's where we saw another spinny dome up there, but we didn't know what it was at the time because we couldn't get a very good angle at it. Like a pathway up here. I bet you that leads to that spinning dome that I saw. There's like a... So this is showing the different symbols on the actual rotating dome. I missed you. Okay. Well, we found a fourth eye. Played a little indie game called Eastshade. Very beautiful game. The programmers added a jump. It didn't end well. Keep getting her. Yeah. Jumping adds a whole like different layer to player control, and it adds a whole like. Even in games that do pretty decent, there's still places where you can break the game just by jumping. 4. That's number 4. Okay. Hold on. So I don't know what shape. I didn't see an animal shape associated. I'll look again to see if I see an animal shape associated with this. But this is... Oh. I did not give myself room to write down any more eyes. Whoops. Okay. We'll just do 4 right here. Which this is... I'm gonna call this the jungle eye because we're kind of in a jungle here. And this was number 4. And let's see if we can figure out... I don't see any like animal shape associated with it. No, so this is 180, so I can't walk off into the jungle. Yeah, this is a dagger. This is like the second dagger we've like seen, because there's one over close to the ice cream cone at the linking point. I'm not seeing any like animal association with this like we did for the other three. Huh. Maybe if I step back a little and look at it. Hi, beetle. Big enough to hurt a dragon? Nah. These scales be too hard, man. We keep seeing the beetles around here. Maybe maybe that's the clue, because we keep seeing a lot of beetles. So I'm gonna say beetle. Beetle is like the animal association, because like we've seen just since we've come back, we've seen 2 of them. And I remember the first time we were here, we kept seeing them a lot too. I don't think we were able to get like a really close up on one. But I still doesn't answer the I didn't even realize that was a thing. But still doesn't answer, how do we get up to the upper level? Because we can't. I should probably check everywhere to make sure I can't walk down anywhere else, because I didn't realize you could walk down there at all. Okay, we got this split path, which that takes us to where the ground is unstable. I don't think we can get off, or we can walk off the path here. But you can like see there's like a pathway right here that actually ends. That's interesting. You can see the pathway leading up here. What was that noise? That was a weird noise. I love that in such an old game, I'm still hearing new noises when I'm coming back to certain areas. That's actually amazing. I love that. Okay, so we came from that way. When you go this way, there's like that winch for like cord. You can clearly see the paths right here. So how do I get up there? Can't go there. Can't do anything there. Nothing there. And nothing there. Here's the winch. We're going down the stairs. This is 180, so there's nothing to the sides. Again, 180. Hi, origami fish. With the very ominous music and the lighting of the red lights. The spotlight red light shining on it to make it even more eerie. Can't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the remake for Riven is going to be out later this year. That's why I'm so excited for it. I can't. There's like no other way for me to get off the path though. And I can't interact with you at all. Like there's no buttons on the eyes. There's. Whoops. You start clicking too close to the edge of the screen, you just turn automatically. I'm out of. There's the dome right there. You can see it. I am at a loss for how I'm supposed to get up to those places. Maybe, I mean, it could just be that is I've explored as much as I can. There's not actually a way to get up there. Maybe I have to get to that first island that we saw. So we have to enter through the house, take that tram to that other island we haven't gone to yet, and then use that tram to come back to Village Island to explore the last bit of the area. It's possible there's just no way to get to it. At least from where we are now. Hi, third beetle that we've seen. Okay. So again, I asked the question, what do? What's the next step? We've tested out every possible potential path here. There's nothing here that we can do. We still have the popcorn puzzle that I don't know even how it works. We could go back and try to see if we can figure that out, I guess. Actually kind of sad. That jungle's amazing. I like the environment, the aesthetic, everything about it is freaking phenomenal. And then you just come out here and you just see the destruction of all the trees so that Gin and his disciples can make books. It's very sad, and it's very reflective, especially nowadays, on our own society as humans. It's very... I feel like it's even more relevant nowadays than it was back when this game came out, because it's like... I feel like this was like a warning, and like people didn't see it or didn't listen to it, and now we're hurting our environment, hurting our ozone, just because we're getting rid of the trees, all the emissions. Like we're destroying our own planet, and it's like, again, the figure that is clearly depicted as evil is doing the same thing to this world, and it's causing this world to be unstable. Granted, there's other lore reasons for why the world's unstable, but thematically wise, it's very appropriate to see this world is destroying itself because of how it's been treated. I think that might be that actually might be one of the big themes that Cyan was actually trying to convey with Riven, is we've got to appreciate our own world and we've got to take better care of it. Okay. Back through the minecart ride of doom, back to Crater Island, and hopefully to some solutions. I think. Maybe. We'll see. I know, yeah. This I think this one I actually like this one better than the tram rides, because it's unique. There's like multiple trams, but there's only one of this. Plus, it's like, I love roller coasters, and this is like this is like a roller coaster enthusiast stream. And I realize that's actually very controversial to what I said, to something I said earlier. Imagine if a dragon was scared of heights, but loves roller coasters. What do you get? Me. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's like even like I know I have wings, but it's like, for some reason heights still scare me unless I'm actually flying. And then, like, I guess a good way to put it is, like, when I'm not in control, heights scare me. But when I'm in control, I'm not scared. We have shrinking magic. How do you think I'm able to fit in a computer chair? We can control our size. Yeah, no, it's very evident that there is the big theme of nature versus like constructed infrastructure. And yeah, and stripping resources. Yeah, like, because like This is a very heavily... This island itself, Crater Island, is honestly a very, very depressing island. Because the only things of note here, minus the big crater, obviously, is the very, like exactly, the man-made stuff, very mechanized. There's like no nature here. But then you go into like Village Island and you go into, actually, is Village Island is the only place where there's really wildlife, isn't there? Because like Dome Island didn't have any wildlife. It was also very man-made, very mechanized, very infrastructure-y. Especially with like all the grandiose buildings and temples built in honor of Gin. Yeah, the only place that really like highlights nature is Village Island, well, so far. Obviously, I don't know what the future holds, but the very, like with the pelican seals, the beetles, the jungle, even the village itself, even though the village is man-made, it still felt natural because of how it was constructed and it was used with materials. It wasn't intruding on the already existing geometry and life and life forms and stuff like that, except for certain constructions within the lake itself. That like the triangle sacrifice point that was like holding what seems like a fish in it, that was like hampering life forms. The camera that was like built into the rock, the submarine itself with the rails, and then the water bending whatever technology they have to make those air pockets in the lake. And that's like, that all points back to Gin. So like it's Gin is like, I don't know, that's just Gin, the villagers themselves, like you can clearly see when they built their village, it was like all like the amount of different levels and construction, like ladders to like go up and down the cliffside, whereas Gin stuff is like all just like built breaking through rock and stone and breaking trees, tearing down trees. Yeah, it's as the more I think about this, the more and more clearly I see the theme here. That's so. What the hell do I do with you though? That was spinning before, right? I'm not going crazy. What did I do to stop the fan? What? Hold on, why is the fan stopped now? Okay, do you do anything now that the fan stopped? Remember when you were walking on the bridge and you turned the power off? Oh, you mean this bridge over here? Oh, this lever over here. This control, oh, this controls the fan. That is a very, very odd placement for fan controls. Why are fan controls on the middle of a walkway? What? And also, why does it have power cords going both? I mean, that makes sense why the power cord's going back that way, but then why is there a power cord going back to the house as well? It's like it controls stuff in both places. Okay, so with... Oh, that's a very good point. I didn't even try that. Let me go try that. See if I can... Because the door was locked, but back to the point of not knowing what the default state of things is screws up your perception. I didn't check to see what the default state of this was compared to the house that also is apparently connected to, and screw my perception that the house is always locked. So let me check to see. Oh, it is just always locked. Well, it's a good idea. Good idea, but the house is just always locked. Yeah, boo, boo. Yeah. Well, this obviously changes the state in here, so let's see what the heck is different. Do we have popcorn now? Hi. What? Oh, hold on. What? That was a frog. Okay. How the heck did my popcorn turn into a frog? Also, wait, what's the point of having the... What? So if the fan's off, a frog appears? Hold on. Put you back down there. I would go down and see if something has changed in the boiler room. Okay, I'll do it. I'm not connecting the train of thought of why a frog appearing would change the state of something in the boiler room. Oh no, while the power's off. Gotcha. Okay, okay. Like, damn, that's one powerful popcorn frog to change the status of a boiler room. Yeah. No, yeah, you're 100% right. I should check the boiler room to see what's different with the power off up there. It looks the same? Thinking turning off the power might stop that spinning dome. That is true. We didn't look at the dome. The only time we looked at that spinning dome was when we had the power turned on. My counter argument is we've seen two other domes, but we've had access to one, and that one did not seem to have a way to turn off power. So if that connected the dots to the power on the spinning dome, where would the power control be for the other one that we have access to? That doesn't missing it because there could be another secret passage that I haven't found yet that could have the power controls, or it could be in plain sight and I just missed it, as is common with this game. But I'm trying to see. I don't. Does this still? Oh, wait. Right. This doesn't have power, not because of the power switch, but because of this thing. This is connecting to the frog cooker. That's the name of that now, is the frog cooker. But if I change it back to this, that'll make you have power. And yeah, you can see the lights on there. Oh, you have water in you now. Oh, right, because okay. So even with the power off up there, we can still control everything here. So that power switch does not affect the boiler at all. Let me go back. Let me change the power back to the frog cooker. And see if we can figure out why the hell we need to deal with the... Maybe... Wait. That was a poison dart frog, right? That we saw? So this is obviously some kind of contraption to catch the frog. So what we have it on is a spring, or what it is a spring-loaded trap that when something puts pressure on it, it triggers the cage. It also went left out of frame. Oh, was that important? I guess everything could be important. I didn't even catch that. But whenever it steps on it, whenever it triggers the trap and captures whatever it is. This is essentially bait, food, that will attract the frog to jump on the plate and capture it. So if we bring it back up, nothing. Is the fan off? No, the fan's off. It might lead me to something, possibly. Wait a second. I sent whenever the frog appeared the first time, I sent this down, went to go check the power for the fan, and then came back. Do I have to actually walk away for the frog to be attracted to it? Wait, you've never played Riven before? Oh, I was under the assumption you actually had played Riven. Oh, wow. Oh, this is... that's cool. Every time you've played, it's been for 5 minutes. Oh, so you've played, you just never got very far. I'm actually curious. Why is the reason... What's the reasoning behind you not being... not playing for very long? Was the just not your style of game, or... Oh, something shiny comes... Yeah, just new games popping up and stopping you. Okay, so this is where we went. Let's go back and see if the frog appears this time. If it does, it's actually kind of cool. The fact that you have to walk away and come back to it. Okay. Not accurate. Damn. Maybe it was only a one-time thing then. You played a lot of Myst. You never... Wow. You also never finished Myst, huh? That's... Wow. Well, Myst and Riven were the only Myst games that I've ever completed. I've played a little of Myst 3, but I never finished it. And I have never played Revelations, and I have never played End of Ages. I've also never played Uru. So, once we get to Myst 3, then we'll be on exactly the same footing of, like, this is actually a blind playthrough. Like I said, this one, I'm very rusty on, like, almost everything because of how long ago I played it. Like do not remember this at all, or what the frog is important or for or anything. But there's like certain things I do remember, like the secret door passageway. Like certain little things I remember and stick out very vividly to me. In fact, I think this is from this point on, I don't know of anything that actually sticks out to me like the doors do. I can't remember. There's like one elevator that I remember. And I'll point it out when we see it, but it's just an elevator. It doesn't actually. I don't think it's actually important. I just remember the elevator because of how grandiose it was, basically. But like all the rest of like the puzzles and solutions and like story points, I don't remember basically at all. So basically a blind playthrough. I remembered Myst very vividly because I played Myst tons, but I've only played Riven once. I guess this time being my second time. Anyway, so maybe it was only a one-time thing. So you said I jumped out left frame, so it leads left frame takes me to this pipe that just goes off into the darkness. I can't even see where it leads to. But I can't like walk on it or anything. But what's interesting is this entire walkway, everything's 180. Like I can't like look, I can't even look to the sides. Everything's 180. In fact, even on this side, it's 180. But if I go to this side, it's only 90 degrees turn. So this pipe is important. So maybe the frog was like showing me something about this pipe for some reason. I'm entirely. Well, wait, I clicked by accident and I got closer to the fan. I'm a little mad at that. So that's why the fan was. I don't think the fan had anything to do with the freaking frog puzzle thing. I think it had to do with being able to go down this secret tunnel passage. Where is this coming out at? Oh, we're in the house. That's why there was a cord going to this house as well, because it turned off this fan. Oh, and I bet you I could have, if I was on the walkway outside, I could have looked and saw this coming out and put two and two together that that's the ventilation shit. Okay. Huh. Welcome back, Mega Charizard. We got into the locked house. Oh, we also found a frog. That popcorn cooker, it makes frogs. I'm now calling it the frog cooker. Okay. Can I unlock this door? It seems so. Yeah, it makes for. I think it was only a one-time thing. But yeah, I put my I put the little like popcorn seed, which I'm assuming is actually now bait or whatever food the frog eats, in the center of it, and it's like a spring-loaded trap, and you send it down and you bring it back up, and a frog was trapped. I don't know why it didn't work all those times before. Maybe it does have to do with the fan, actually, then, because we just now turned the fan off. Maybe that does actually have to do with it. And why the original reason why you would turn the fan off. I don't know. I'm sure they interlock somehow. But, yeah, and we brought it back up, and it was like a red poison dart frog hopped out and hopped to the left side of the screen and went out of frame. Yeah. Are you always unlocked now? I think you might not be. I think you might always be locked from the outside, actually. But I can open you from the inside. This looks like a tram call button. Well, it hopped around a little bit and made its little croaky noise, but that was it. And then just it hopped out of frame to left side. That's why I'm extremely confused on that. I am not sure what the point of it was. It was like it hopped off to the left side of the screen, which made me look to the left, and I saw like a pipe leading off, but it like led into the darkness and there was nothing there, and I couldn't figure out what that pipe led to or anything. So I'm not sure what the point of that was. But yeah, we know that makes frogs now. What is this? I can't interact with any of these things. It's five points. I mean, like some kind of jars of liquid. Books unbound. Oh, is he binding books here? I have no idea how realistic to actually binding books this process is, but that might be what this is, because I don't know anything about like the publishing or making of books at all. You got a bottle of cold water out of the freezer like 2 hours ago, and it's already warm, not even room temp. Dang, dude. Yeah, it's been hot here too. It's been extremely hot. Like, I think it's supposed to. So I live in the US, so I use Fahrenheit, but it's like 90 degrees where I am, which I think correlates to like 30 something Celsius. I don't know the conversion rate off the top of my head. He might be making the spines with that machine. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because like I had no idea what this was looking at it, but then like looking at this, comparing the uncovered books versus the covered books, I realized what he potentially was doing here. And so like this is like a press to like press the books together with like, I'm assuming glue or some kind of adhesive. And then because based on this, I'm assuming this is either Gin's or Gin's disciples' workshop where they make the books. And like maybe he's like testing trees to make sure that they're the right type of tree or something. Yeah, it really it does worry you. Like it makes you think he's trying to like make another age or something, which then could potentially let him leave Riven, which is like the entirety of what Atrus does not want, because he would just he destroys the worlds he goes to, as evident by Riven. And what's interesting about this is there's the tree has. I'm not sure what this is called, but I know like I'll basically every tree has these where they have like the center like break or something. I'm not sure what those are called, but like this one has specifically 5 points, which maybe makes this a holy tree and perfect for writing a book or something. Yeah, again, stuck on Riven. So in the initial notes that Atrus give us, which you can see are here, we've already read through all this at the very beginning, but basically what Atrus says is that Catherine is stuck on Riven. Gin has captured her. He is trying to save Catherine, who is his wife. Gin, who is Atrus's dad, does something that is not right, or it's frowned upon, which is actually creating your own ages. So Atrus, he's written books to other ages, but he writes books to ages that already exist. Whereas Gin actually just straight up creates the age, which makes the age unstable because it's like impossible / frowned upon to write ages, to just create ages from the art of writing books and the art of writing linking books. And so, because of that, Riven is the 5th age that Gin has written, and why he's called it the 5th age. Yeah, and I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on them. I just know the general outline of them. Yeah, exactly. Like Riven, that is why Riven is unstable. And so because of Gen going against because of Gen being taboo and creating his own ages, Gen was also very controlling of Atrus when Atrus was young. Oh, hey Parker, how you doing? It's been a while. You don't know if the center break has a name, but that happens from different moisture evaporation. As far as you know, it just happens from a cross-section exposure. Gotcha. Okay. So maybe maybe he's looking for the specific like 5-star pattern. Maybe that's the right trees to make the books with. I lost my train of thought initially on the topic I was talking about. But yeah, because Gen was being taboo and because Gen was being honestly not a very good father and being extremely controlling of Atrus, and now Gen has captured Catherine, Atrus does not want Gen out in the world. He wants Gen captured, which is why he gave us the trap book. However, the trap book got stolen from us, so now we have to find the trap book to actually capture Gen and prevent him from figuring out a way to escape, which it seems like that's what he's trying to do here. He is trying to figure out how to write another age to get off of Riven, which is scary. So let's hope we can figure that out before he does escape. Oh, we got like 2 more tables. Oh, those are more frogs. Those look like the poison dart frog that we saw. This one's empty. Some more vials, and this is the thing to capture the frog. Why was he capturing wildlife? Those look like eggs. Was he capturing eggs of different wildlife? Maybe to make ink? Oh, I can't open any other drawers. That's the only one I can open. Wait, how was he making it? Was he using like the blood or like maybe a secretion to make the ink? Oh God. The more I learn, the more and more I extremely dislike Gin. Huh. And then... Oh, hey, it's an eyeball. 1. But this isn't a workshop. All the others have been like... Last week, while monitoring the situation of the village from the scope in my survey room, I observed one of the natives swim out to a small object that appeared to be floating, but anchored. Near the entrance to the bay, I ordered the object removed from the water for inspection. Several days later, however, I was surprised to see another floating there. The missing object had apparently, and quite mysteriously, been replaced with a new one overnight. I've long been aware of the existence of similar artifacts on the village island, but have paid them little notice until now. Tomorrow I shall send surveyors to catalog the others. God, that writing is really hard to write. I'm very bad about reading cursive. Okay. So these are only on the village island. Good to know. And apparently he took this one from Village Island. This one actually has the number 1 on it. So let me do, this is going to be number 5. Number 5, this is gonna, I'm going to call this the workshop eye. And it has the number 1 on it. And again, I have no idea. I have not read the journal yet. No. No. This isn't Roman numerals. This is not Roman numerals. This is a in-game language. So we earlier found in like a schoolhouse, there was like a little game where we could play it and figure out the numbers 1 through 10. And this is the equivalent to number 1 in our numbering system. Yeah. That one looks like a Roman numeral. It looks like the Roman numeral 3. But no, it's actually all the numbers are like in boxes, and this like horizontal line in the middle represents 1. So like if like the number 2 is this box, but instead of the horizontal line, there's like an archway going from the top corner to the bottom corner. That's the number 2, and the number 3 is like there's like a V from like spreading out from there, from the left side as well. What's also interesting is that this was removed from its normal habitat, so obviously there's not going to be a normal animal shape, or animal shape. I say shape because of the freaking frog in the cave opening, but there's not an animal associated with this one because it's not where it's supposed to be. He said that he saw it from his camera, which we know there's a camera in the village lake. So maybe so obviously at some point we're gonna be able to look through that camera, and we'll probably be able to see the floating eye on the camera. And from that perspective, we might be able to associate an animal with it. But until then, I have no idea what association this animal, or what animal is this, or creature is associated with this eye, because so far this is the 5th eye we found. The first one, the tram eye, we found that had the number 3 on it, and it was associated with a frog because of the shape of the mouth of the cave, made the shape of a frog with the eye where the eye should be. Then we have what I'm calling the pelican seal eye, which had the number 5 on it, and it was associated with whatever the name of the creature that I'm calling Gin's fish is, because it had the very same shape that we see from Gin's fish, both at the temple that we saw, and also there was like some native drawing on a wall that also had a very similar representation for that fish. I just realized I had my book blocking my tracking. Whoops, my bad. And then we have the 3rd eye, which I'm calling the submarine eye, that had the number 2 on it, and it looked like a jellyfish. I'm questioning that one because I'm not quite sure if it's, I couldn't quite make it out, and it looked most similar to a jellyfish from what I could tell. And then we had the jungle eye that we found on the dagger earlier that had the number 4, and because of all the beetles flying around the area, I'm associating that with beetles. And we found this one, the workshop eye, that has a number 1 on it that we don't have an animal association with yet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 5 here. So we just need to, I guess, to complete that data set, we just need to figure out what animal this eye would be associated with. We still don't know what these mean. We're just finding them, and I've noticed the correlations with them. Okay. Anyway, we have like what appears to be another journal here. I was like, yay, there's nothing in it. Easy read for me. Okay. I'm assuming this is going to be like Gen's journal, because this is definitely like Gen's workshop where he's doing book construction. So latest ink formulation. Hey, you're right. He was creating ink too. There we go. The first line of this journal just confirmed that. Has proven a failure. Even when writing in my most promising books, I obtain only the barest glimpse of a connection. When he says connection, he's talking about the linking panel. So every linking book has a linking panel, and the one we saw coming to Riven was very damaged because of how unstable Riven is as an age. In Mist, we saw all those linking panels on the books that we would literally touch and they would take us to the new age. So he's getting like almost no connection from the writing that he is doing. Obviously, the writing needs a special type of ink to work as well. And it seems like he's trying to figure out the right combination of ingredients to make the correct ink. It is frustrating to expect so much, or to expend so much effort creating a blank book only to end up destroying it when it doesn't work. There are days when the lab is uncomfortably warm from the flames of these failed attempts. I literally can't tell what that word says. Something refine each element. The further I refine each element, the formulations of the inks and papers. The formulation of the inks and papers, the physical dimensions of the book, the more I realize that the list of potential combinations is nearly infinite. It is during moments like these that I despair. Without access to Dunny, my long-term goals may never be accomplished. Nevertheless, there are avenues of research which remain to be explored. And this is 82-213, 82-58. So this is like a couple months later. I am discontinuing regular observations of the stars beneath the fissure. Although I have been able to track the dark cloud-like formations that migrate through the starfield that migrate through the starfield, and have proven that their paths are cyclical. Yeah, starfield. Speaking of Starfield, what a meh game. Anyway, without proper instrumentation, it is pointless to continue. My general theory concerning the nature of the fissure has remained unaltered since it just appeared. It seems that the fabric of the age has been breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitally exchanged between the two. The HOSPITA, hospitably exchanged between two. I guess hospitably as in like it's not bad in nature. It's like it works well. Hospitably exchanged. I have never heard that phrase before, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Between the two place, you can exchange this stuff between places, and it turns out to be okay. Okay, that's a very well. Thank you. I could not put that into words, but that is yes. Thank you. To sect but overlapping two distinct but overlapping spaces. There we go. Harmlessly. Yeah, okay. Much like a link, but the apparent physical conditions surrounding this juncture defy logical reasons. The great column of wind that was formed when the fissure just appeared suggests a vacuum as one might expect in space. Yet my early experimentations revealed the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atrus and Catherine threw themselves into the void in is further evidence that it might be safe to travel, but without knowing its true without knowing its true nature, I cannot take the risk myself. It is also difficult to say what would happen if I were to reopen it after so long, but it is likely that the result would be catastrophic given the changes that have occurred in this age since that time. Oh! I like getting even less because of the way he writes. Say you took a sandwich and passed it from one world to another. Ordinarily, the sandwich would be destroyed, but because of what's happening, the sandwich survives. Yes. Yeah. So Isekai, but you can travel between both worlds, take whatever you want with you. Yeah, basically. We already know that Atrus and Catherine went through what is known as the star fissure, which we have not seen yet. We don't know exactly what it is yet, I don't think. Or if we do, I don't remember. To escape Riven the first time. And that's how we, as the stranger, which is what the community has given the name for the protagonist you play, because you don't actually get a name. That is what that is how the stranger found the original Mist book for Mist. Is the Mist book was lost in the fissure, and wherever it came out at, we, the stranger, found it, and then were transported to Mist. And that's how everything started. And what's interesting is at the very beginning cutscene when Atrus initially sends us to Riven to do all of our objectives, he says at the end of this, he might have a way using the star fissure to send us back to where we came. So at the end, we're doing this to try to get back to our original life, our original place in the world, whatever world, I'm assuming Earth. But yeah, so that's kind of the background that I currently know about the star fissure. Maintenance on the stream vent caps completed. Oh, okay, that's just a log of something he did. And then this is the next year. I am extremely pleased with continued success of the system. I believe the construction to have been tame to the Dunny designs of my memory. Another example of the superiority of the Dunny technology. It's ironic that Atrus and Catherine unwillingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. Okay, so this is like detailing... Oh, this is like the domes that we're seeing. And it's like, this is like mechanisms underneath the dome of like... So he constructed these on top of like vents, it seems. And the vents are like powering the dome. And then he has like steam coming out. Huh. So essentially everything's steam powered from the star fissure, because there's like or heat, I should say, not steam, but there's like heat coming from the star fissure, and he's built these domes on top of it to like harness that energy. So what my initial thought was that the big dome, which we see the 5 pipes going into, that is powering these domes, but it seems the opposite actually. It seems like there's 5 domes on each of the islands on top of like some kind of fissure that is like collecting heat and sending that to the central dome, probably for like central power, and then from the dome everything else is powered. As with many of my views over the years, my thoughts regarding the origin of the fissure have changed. I have recently begun to wonder whether it's actually an unexpected byproduct of the changes Catherine and Atrus wrote into this age during their escape. Certainly, by casting their linking book into the void, they trapped me here quite effectively. But I do not believe that Atrus intended the book to be lost in this manner. Much better to destroy it than to risk the possibility of it falling into unknown hands. Oh yeah, there's tons of reading in every mist. Tons and tons of reading. Lore dump, exposition dump. So what's interesting here is we actually see Gen's personality coming out of, he doesn't care about the ages himself. He doesn't care about the linking books. He just, oh, I don't need it. It's a liability. Destroy it. Just get rid of it. And then we contrasting Atrus's things of like, oh, I would rather just lose access to this than destroy it, because Atrus knows that the access to ages is so priceless, because once you destroy it, there is like a nil possibility of being able to access that specific age again. Whereas there's a much better probability of, even if you lose it in the star fissure, not knowing where it's going to end up, there's still the possibility that you're eventually going to find it. There's a better possibility of that than destroying it and recreating another linking book for it. Also, had they forgotten the creation of the fissure, they would surely have thought that the vacuum it created would eventually consume the atmosphere of this planet. A fate which Catherine undoubtedly would have deemed unacceptable. For her homeworld. Oh. Wait, Catherine is from Riven? She's not Dunny? I did not. Did I? I think I heard something. I think I heard that in Mist, but it didn't register to me that Riven is her. Oh. Oh. Okay. That was a major dump right there. J something. What? I don't know what this word is right here. Something had not been there to supervise the construct. If I had not been there to supervise the construction of the seal, this is most certainly what would have happened. For the villagers were far too frightened to even approach the vortex without my urging. I hold on to the belief that it was an unintended convergence of their writing for another reason as well. I realized, or that's yeah. This is indeed the first time Catherine's origin is mentioned, since the prequel novels were written after this game. Okay. Well, I also haven't I haven't read the novel, so I guess I didn't realize that. Another consequence of their writing, unintended consequence of their writing for another reason as well. Yeah. So what's hold on, I'll give my thoughts in a second. I realized, or I that's an F, to think that my had meant for this age to be merely a prison for me. I prefer to think that my son had meant for this age to be mainly a prison for me rather than a death sentence. God, the writing is like a puzzle in itself to decipher. Oh yeah. Thank y'all for helping. You wouldn't recommend reading the novels until after I play Riven anyway? Okay, we'll do. That actually was my thing. We were talking about that earlier, me and Lost Wolf. He was mentioning, there are other 5 novels? I know of the Book of Atrus and the Book of Tiana, and then Lost Wolf mentioned the Book of Dunny, but I want to say there's 5. And like I said, I could be just because 5's on my mind right now because of Riven. But when you looked it up, you just found 3? Okay. But yeah, so it seems like, so Catherine's homeworld is Riven, which means, did Gen create Catherine since he created Riven? Is that Did Gin create his son's wife? Oh god, that just hurt my brain.
Woo!
But either way, it seems like maybe Atrus taught Catherine the art of writing, and then they both wrote together to get out of Riven, and that the combination of their writing, probably on top of Gin's initial writing of the age, caused the star fissure to happen. There are only 3. Okay. Oh ho ho. It's storming outside. We have the atmosphere today, boys. Oh yeah. I heard like a faint like rain paddling on the window, and I looked over and I saw just a dark sky, which it should be light by now. It's 9 o'clock in the morning for me. It's I just see a dark sky and like the faint outline of like a tree being blown like crazy by the wind. Ooh, the atmosphere is good. Oh yeah. There are only 3. The first 2 take place before Mist, and the third after Riven. Gotcha. The thing is, Gin has no way of knowing that. Gin has no way of knowing if he created Catherine, or he has no way of... Wait, I thought Riven was created by Gin. So if Riven was created by Gin, wouldn't that mean he created the people that were here too? So in all reality, he is actually their god because he created them. Or are we assuming he created it, but he accidentally just linked to the age? Is that the point you're getting at? The construction of the imagers has proceeded without fault. It is interesting to see how easily I've been able to adapt to the Dunny technology, or I've been able to adapt the Dunny technology to mimic that of the Ahmed? A-M-A-D? Ahmad? It's capitalized, so it's a proper noun. I'm not sure what that is. In some ways, the similarities between the 2 cultures is striking. I wonder if perhaps there had been communication on commerce between the 2 cultures in earlier times. Maybe Keda's, that's in someone's name, Keda's people were even descendants of the Dunny. It pleases me to think so. Atrus doesn't believe he's creating the worlds he writes, rather than he is just finding them. Okay, okay. So Gin believes he's a god because he's creating worlds, whereas in reality, he's more than likely just finding them by happenstance. And because of his writing and the way he's writing to try to create ages, he's making the ages themselves unstable. Ooh, okay. That's, wow. That actually makes a lot more sense than than the way I was thinking about this initially. My understanding is this. You can write an age, but you're just putting together little pieces, like pieces that can evolve independently. So Gin might have created Riven, but not specifically Catherine. Okay. Okay. And this is like a representation of like the... Oh, this is what he's calling the imager. So this is what was in the schoolhouse. This is also what we saw in the temple versus the like broadcast chair that we saw earlier. Okay. Was that hail? Did hail just hit my window? Huh. Is this actually like a major storm? I like how it starts storming as soon as we start getting into the dark lore of Gin. That's very appropriate. The writing describes a search query rather than a blueprint. Yeah. Okay. So like you're searching for an age that already exists, basically. Note, it's possible that if I were somehow able to supply the books with a power source of sufficient magnitude, I could suppress the variance enough to facilitate a solid link. It is doubtful that the geothermal cap generators could provide such an enormous surge. It is definitely hailing outside. Can y'all hear that? Perhaps I could adapt the fire marbles. Okay, that's a phrase that sticks out to me. I mentioned at the very beginning, one of the puzzles that I remember being insanely difficult was the fire marble puzzle. I do not remember the puzzle, but I remember the name of it. I do not remember what to do, what it entails, the solution, the clues. I remember nothing. I remember that was a hard puzzle. You can't hear anything. Okay. I think it's hailing outside. Hold on, let me look at the weather quick. Make sure I'm not like in tornado danger or anything. Flash flood warning. Uh-oh. It doesn't say anything about tornado, so I think I'm good. Flash flood isn't like that's not good, but it's not like I have to go like get in cover or anything. So just very appropriate atmosphere for the lore reading we're currently doing. I have been cataloging. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so tongue tied. That's your favorite puzzle in the game, is the fire marble puzzle? Oh, okay, I'm looking forward to it then. I don't remember. I played this game for Parker. I played this game once, like 10 to 15 years ago. I remember it. I remember loving it. I don't remember most of it. You thought it was the game? That's funny. Okay. I have been cataloging the natural elements of this age for nearly 30 years now, yet still I continue to find evidence of the Dunnies' preoccupation with 5. As a boy, it was very clear to me that the number 5 had a special significance to the Dunny society. From the ancient historic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners, it was unambiguous. Its presence here is obviously a direct recollection of the minds that designed of the minds that designed the text that I used to compose this age. Further proof that the thought of the art the Dunny masters were indeed creating this marvelous work. Oh, okay, let me restart that. The thought there further proof that through their art, the Dunny masters were indeed creating the marvelous worlds they wrote. Oh. And not, as many mistakenly thought, merely building links to pre-existing worlds. Okay, yeah. Exactly what we were saying, or y'all were saying, is that Gin thinks he's creating the worlds, whereas in reality, everyone else in the Dunny society thought they were just linking to them. And one of your top favorite puzzles in this series? Oh, wow. You're hyping this thing up, man. I'm excited to actually start figuring it out. While most of the constructions have been based on Dunny designs, I see now that the ones that I have imbued with the power of 5 are clearly the most beautiful, most perfect, and I believe the most structurally sound. We got like a combination right here, I think, of like, what's interesting is there's, let me actually get to it. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself just because it's a picture. I am still attempting to determine how the Dunny color symbology reflects this superior design principle. Although superficially, it is based on a 6 color. I'm gonna have to learn colors too. I am convinced that there has to be a deeper connection to the 5. I will continue to investigate. Okay, let me just write this down because this is very clearly correlating to the eyes that are on the spinning domes. And apparently it has something to do with color. Okay, so there's... First one is like a normal eye. Oh, I'm gonna make this a lot bigger. Hold on. So this one's like a normal eye with a line down the middle. And then we have an eye, just a horizontal line. And then we have a normal, just a straight up normal eye with a dot iris. Then we have the open eye that we already found on the one dome that we were able to actually look at. Then we have a vertical eye, like a reptile. And then we have one that I drew that vertical eye so badly. And then we have a horizontal line. So that's like a 6-digit combo, 6-color combo. Okay, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. So we got like a 6-color combo. Huh. I finally made a breakthrough. I have succeeded in modifying the fire marbles to generate enough power to hold a descriptive linking book and in a stable matrix. I have linked to a new world. Oh, he already linked to a new world. Uh-oh. That's not good. It is a harsh and desolate age, but it is nonetheless well suited for my purpose. And so I have designated it my something age. I'll decipher that in a second. We might be able to decipher that in a second. By studying it closely, I believe I will eventually be able to create a more appropriate age for us to settle on. For now, I will build an office and set up my linking quarters there in something that I may construct my experiments in safely and without destruction. Okay, and I'm assuming this is a picture of the age he went to. Oh, there's more. Okay, so he's still doing a thing where he names the ages after the numbers. Can I make heads and tails of what number this is? So we have what looks like 9. So this looks like a 9. And then this looks like an 8. 90. Now that wouldn't make sense because this is ND. You wouldn't say 98 and. Wait a second. I just realized something. So all the numbers we have a single box by them. These boxes look connected. So this is not, these are not single digit numbers. This is very similar to in abduction, how the different place values were different locations on the actual grid. I'm assuming, I mean, this is, I'm going to say this as if this is a base 10. So this is the 1's place, and then this is the 10's place. I don't know what base the Dunny number system is. So I guess this, I'm sorry, I got this in reverse. So this would be the 10's place and this would be the 1's place. Yeah, maybe we'll figure out what base they are later and we can actually decipher. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and write down that number just so I have it on reference. But I'm not sure how to solve it or how to figure out what that number actually says. So we got these 2 boxes. Boom, boom, boom. And then we have boom, boom, boom. So that's the age of, or Gin's new age. Okay. Okay. So we read that. I must admit that I am proud of my work. To think that in such primitive conditions I have accomplished in 29 years what it took the original Dunny centuries to achieve. Note, repairs repair out repair other wares for work on repair what? Repair other wares for work on this world. The goggles may need to be redesigned altogether. Oh, repair outerwear for work on this world. The goggles may need to be... Oh, so he is like some kind of like outfit he needs to wear to be in that world, I guess. Okay. I have begun construction on a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven to my new office on his new age. The Survey Guild has finally completed the site location for each new island according to my exact specifications, and installation of the domes is underway at last. So the domes are the linking points to this age. How does that... What? Are the books inside the dome? Work on the central power source got off to a bit of a bad start, I'm afraid. So yeah, the big dome is the central power point. Okay, cool. But the pace has picked up considerably since then, and I anticipate no further delays. I'm looking forward to finally having a civilized mode of transportation. Civilized mode of transportation. Like the freaking tram rides are not civilized. He has to be able to link from place to place to call it civilized. This guy thinks really highly of himself in a Dunny race, doesn't he? And yes, look, this is another drawing of the 5-spoke Tetris piece. Probably symbolizing the 5 islands and the power going... Yeah, okay. Cool. Another combo. Due to the rebels' continued disturbances, I've decided to install a coded access system into all of the domes. Okay, let me write this down real quick. Code to access domes. Boom. We got 1. We have... That would be 5. And then we have 9. And then we have 10. Yeah, we have 10. And then we have... That's one I don't know, actually. Hold on. It's a... It looks like a 10 and a 4 put together. So if that's anything to go by, that would be 14? I'm going to call that 14. So 1, 5, 9, 10, 14. Okay. I caught one of my assistants looking over this journal today. I'm glad I've chosen to write it in a language they cannot decipher. Dunny actually made a transit system of linking books. Oh, that's actually... Wait. How does that work? A transit system of linking books? Like... Do they... Wait a second. Do they link to like a hub age? And like that hub age has linking books to like several different locations of importance to their society? Is that what you mean? That's the only way I can picture like a transit system of linking books. Note, discuss security with each guild master. No problems expected from the maintainers, educators, and surveyors. Question the bookmakers and the builders more closely. Where they would link to another age, and there would be a library of books that link back to other places in the city. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. That's actually really cool. And very efficient. Okay, so these are like the 5... I guess these are the 5... That beetle that we saw in the rotating room has like those 5 figures that I called disciples. I guess those are called guild masters. And there's the maintainers, the educators, the surveyors, the bookmakers, and the builders. So I guess the builders, the educators, and the maybe not. There was one that I couldn't figure out, but anyway, we got them here. Maintainers, educators, surveyors, bookmakers, and builders. Today, I heard several more reports of spirit sightings by some of the villagers. It seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, the black moiety, as the villagers obsistently insist of time. Wait, what? OBSTIMATELY? I'm not reading that right. Insist on referring to them. So the rebels are called the black moiety. Have attracted a new level of sophistication in their terror tactics and have renewed their campaign to intimidate the villagers into joining them, playing upon their shared suspicions. Oh, so it seems like Catherine's actually with the black moiety, if I'm gathering this correctly. So under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, so maybe I need to figure out, find the black moiety, and I'll find Catherine? Thinking back to the very beginning, we were trapped in the linking cage. That one guy stole our trap book and then got attacked by someone in completely black garb, like black clothing. Was that person in black clothing part of the black moiety? Purely because of black correlation? Perhaps? The villagers are certainly susceptible to this form of coercion, especially given of late the rebels' increasing acts of vandalism and theft. The Yatham troops, YTRAM, what the Tharm troops? I'm assuming that's just a name of the troops, have been steadily fruitful this year. Apparently, the breakup of the islands has not adversely affected the subterranean ecosystems. Unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are experiencing a similarly generous harvest. No shortage of poison or their deaths this season. Such morbid issues aside, the sudden availability has allowed me to refine a particularly pleasant extract for my pipe, one that is smoother than any of the others from recent years. Oh, he's a smoker. Yatram traps? Oh, traps, not troops. What? Marty backwards. The fact that that's Marty backwards, is that important? That's like a proper noun, so I'm assuming that's just, I'm not exactly sure what the Yatram ram traps harvest, but apparently it's been fruitful. Chemical analysis of one of the rebel knives has yielded curious results. Its composition contains elements that are unlike anything I've encountered on the islands. It appears they have access to a resource of which I am unaware, perhaps a mine or unmatched island. Etram. Thank you. Etram traps. And this is definitely the rebel knife. We've seen those all around the island. So they're like marking their claim, or marking that they're there, basically. I wouldn't call them terror tactics, considering that we know Gin is kind of the one-on-one the villain But yeah, so maybe we should get in contact with the rebels for one, Catherine, and two, to actually see if we can help or they can help us or something. Yeah. They were named after the game's sound designer, Marnie O'Donnell. Oh, so it's kind of an Easter egg type thing. Gotcha. Okay. Welcome back, Lost Wolf. You've just missed more reading. The fact that they leave the distinctive knives as a sign of their presence concerns me. They're growing more bold and seem to be longing for discovery of, and seem to no longer fear discovery of their hideout. Yeah, so we found out that what you missed as far as the lore goes is we found out there's a rebel society called the Black Moiety, and they are one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. That is 100% true. It just determines what point of view what point of view you subscribe to, more or less. And currently, I am subscribing to Atrus's point of view, subsequently Catherine's point of view, subsequently the Black Moiety's point of view. So that I may get convinced otherwise later, but I doubt it. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we figured out the Black Moiety. Catherine's supposedly with the Black Moiety, so we need to find the Black Moiety to find Catherine. And then they could also potentially help with capturing Gin too, potentially. We found a couple codes. We found like what seems to be a color code and a number code. The number code goes to the domes, so there's we need to figure out a way to actually open the domes because they seem to be linking points to a new age that Gin has figured out how to actually link to, and he has an office on this new age. Yeah, there's a lot here. This is a very, very dense read, like insanely dense. The latest measurements indicate that the recent trend has continued. The movement of the islands has allowed tremendously. Sorry. The movement of the islands has slowed tremendously. My previous estimates predicted a total collapse in approximately 3 months. But with new figures, I am uncertain. I have merely finished writing the... Oh, that's a different number. Oh gosh, there's 2 of them? Okay, let me write this down too. This looks like 9 and 9. The 99th age? No, that's the same thing as before. It's a different... It's like 10th place and 1's place, and I'm not sure what base... If this would be base 10, that would be... I mean, if it was base 10, it would be the 99th, right? And that actually works out because it has the TH. However, this one, the 98th? There's no TH, it's ND. So that's why I'm feeling like it's not base 10. Anyway, he finished writing I'm going to call it the 99th age until I get told otherwise. And I have every faith that it will indeed be a safe place for us to relocate to. It would be helpful to know what has caused the halt in this age's breakup. It is possible that it is stable after all. If so, I must discover how this age differs from my less successful attempts. My examination of that age has thus far proven inconclusive. Or perhaps someone is repairing the damage to the 5th age. If so, it would almost certainly be Atrus's doing. He is correct on that. Atrus is actively working to stabilize the 5th age, also known as Riven, as we are here trying to save his wife. I have reluctantly decided to abandon my experiments into the behaviors of the waters of this age. Oh, are we about to learn about how the waters are like being manipulated? As there are more pressing matters on which I must now concentrate, leaving me little time for such speculative research. For future reference, however, my investigation up to this point has revealed the following. I believe the remarkable properties of the water to be caused by a life form that resides in it, specifically a type of bacteria. I'm imagining a modal unicellular organism, but one with structures capable of holding bits of water whose combined effect via surface tension and a stronger force. Oh, he's saying he doesn't know whether it's surface tension or some other force causes the composite body of water to move in a response to heat. Oh, so those are heat rings. Okay. Prolonged exposure to extreme heat, for example, a period of extended boiling, seems to kill the bacteria, which would explain its drastic aversion to heat sources. Unfortunately, these theories are still not fully tested, and I remain ignorant both in its deeper nature and to its possible uses. Okay, so they control the water with heat, basically, because of a life form that doesn't like heat. And oh, I just realized in the boiler we were probably killing the life form was why that water. I didn't even think about that. Why that water was not reacting to the heat, but obviously the boiling is causing it to. Oh. Sense has been made with that. An exciting development. Last night, a squad of maintenance stumbled upon a lone rebel scout and obtained from him a most incredible device. It is a crystal that somehow powers the flawed linking books, much as my own system does, but with an obvious advantage. It is small and weighs only a few pounds, making it completely portable. Catherine must have fabricated these devices before I captured her. Oh, Gen has captured Catherine. Okay, so she's not with the Black Moiety. Gen's captured her. Well, leaves us back to square one. We need to figure out where Catherine is. Obviously, with an explicit Dunny schematic she must have brought in with her to this age. If only I had access to such a document all these years. Regardless, I can now concentrate solely on the writing of the ages and need no longer worry about building elaborate power supplies for each new book I write. This is a sobering reminder, however, that I must continue to seek an avenue to Dunny, regaining access to the resources that may be crucial to the completion of my mission. And then a picture of what looks like maybe like a gold piece. And that is the end of that book. Wow, that was an insanely dense read. Ooh, my mouth is dry. Oh, dude, Gen loves his thrones, doesn't he? Ah, the beautiful blue expanse. Okay, so he would try to write an age, be unsuccessful, throw it in here and burn it. This is the village camera. Oh, where is this? I can't wait. Is that Catherine? It does look like there's actually another tram. It's like molten around us. Like there's like molten lava around us. Wait. No. There's access to another dome right here. Okay, I'm on it. Now I am going up. This is a map of Riven. Light? Like 3 different data sets for this one thing, so that's freaking crazy. Oh my god, hi, you are really scary looking.